Okay, this card is going to be for people who choose the number 5. And if you haven't already watched the first video called The Experiment, you should take a look at it, because it will give you an idea of what this is about. And so you're going to get more out of this particular video, because it's ideally going to be relevant for you and your life at the moment, and give you an idea of what's going on and what you should expect in the future. So I have to do a little bit of shuffling. Shuffle top to the left, cut, turn the middle pile, gather them up again. And I'm going to do this 3 times. And at the end of the third, I'm not shuffling much at the moment, just because of the time. Some off the top, turn 1. So now some are upside down, some are the right way up. And it's just a way of randomly sorting or getting some of the cards upright and some reversed. So that's that. Some off the top, some more off the top. Turn 1. I don't like to tell people what to do, but that's how you should shuffle. Anyway, so that's that. I spread like that, and the people who chose the number 5, your card is the Queen of Wands reversed. Okay. So this can represent somebody who's going to come into your life, or somebody who's already in your life. And because it's a queen, we have to say it's a woman. It's an older woman who likes to boss you around and give you orders. That's one way of looking at this particular card. So if you've got this older woman who's pushing you around, then this reading is meaningful. But it could also be that this Queen of Wands reversed is you, that you are acting like everybody's mother or everybody's mother-in-law, and interfering or paying too much attention to what's going on in the lives of other people, instead of holding back and letting people do what they want to do. And if you see they're going to make a mistake, then you have to let people make mistakes, because if they make a mistake, there's a chance they're going to learn something. But having you tell them, you're going to make this mistake and you ought to do this, in some ways it's not much help, because the people can take your advice and they go through it, but then the same kind of thing happens 6 months from now. So this may be telling you, step back and let people do what they want to do, even if it doesn't make sense, and even if you don't like it. Probably if it doesn't affect your life, then you have to let people do what they want to do. Queen of Wands, upright. What did we say about this? It's sort of like, okay, we can look at the baton that represents energy and enterprise. Okay, and so it's upside down. So it's a bit like the person involved, it can be you, it can be somebody you're dealing with. They've got a lot of energy, they've got enterprise, and they've got enthusiasm, and they've got ambition. But either they're not doing anything with it, and that's a mistake because they ought to, or else they're wasting it or expending it in the wrong place. So it's a bit like, instead of putting your energy into somebody else's projects, you really ought to put your energy into your own projects, because then you'll be better off and everybody around you will be better off as well. And so the Queen of Wands upside down, it can be saying that it can be an indication that you lack confidence. And the only thing you can do, let's say somebody lacks confidence, what can they do? In the end, all they can do is try. And it's like, if you feel weak and you need to strengthen muscles, if you don't do the exercise, you won't get stronger muscles. And maybe you go to a gym, and the first few times you go to the gym, you end up coming home and you're stiff and sore the next day. But it can be the same kind of thing with the Queen of Wands reversed. If this person, you or the other person, doesn't actually put effort into their own projects, or isn't willing to do the exercise, or to do the work, or to knuckle down and just produce stuff, then they're never going to develop the stronger muscle. And the good thing about muscles is that the more you work them, the stronger they become. With other things like, I'm thinking of an automobile, for instance. The more you work it, it gets tired, it gets old, it needs to have parts replaced. Whereas with people, the more they work, the more exercise they get, the stronger the muscles become. So when you think about yourself or this other person, understand that you're not on a downward slope. You may think you are, but you're not. But by making an effort, you go up. There's improvement. Things get better instead of things getting worse. But it needs input from this individual. You have to do the work, be willing to do the work. And if you are willing to do the work, there's going to be definite improvement. If you don't do the work, what do you become? Bossy, hypercritical, miserable. Can't think of anything else to say about this Queen of Wands. Okay, queens. Queens are members of the royal family. They give orders and expect to have them obeyed. With the Queen of Wands upside down, you get to the situation where you give orders and nobody pays any attention to you anymore. You know, you tell somebody to do something, they don't do it. Or they say, sure, I'll do it, and they don't bother. Or they forget, or something comes up and they're not able to. So you want to give orders, but you might as well forget it, because what you demand or what you say is going to happen won't happen. If you make demands, you're going to have to get louder and louder and lose your temper, and it's still not going to make any difference, because people are still not going to pay that much attention to you. So look and figure out what needs to be done by you and go ahead and do it. If you have comments, leave a comment or send me an email, and we'll take it from there and see what happens with this.